Welcome, everyone, and thank you for joining us online. While we look forward to hosting Family Weekend again in person in the future, the wonder of this medium is that it allows us to reach the family and friends of our students all around the world. As you know, and as the current pandemic has reinforced, my first obligation as president of Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute is to keep our faculty, students, and staff safe. Thanks to our risk-informed planning and our comprehensive testing, tracing, tracking, surveillance, quarantine, and isolation health and safety protocol, or T cubed SQI, we have managed to keep the COVID-19 case rate on our Troy campus extremely low. With over 270,000 tests conducted since we reopened our dedensified campus last fall, we have had a positive case rate of just over 0.1%. This past summer and fall, our positivity rate is even lower since we instituted our vaccine mandate while continuing our other stringent health and safety protocols. Throughout the pandemic, we have been very fortunate to have a laboratory capable of conducting gold standard PCR testing for COVID-19 at a large scale, an unusual resource at a university without a medical school, which reflects the many investments we have made in the life sciences and biotechnology over the past 2 decades. Currently, our students are overjoyed to be fully back on campus and learning in person, and our low case rate has allowed that. Without question, this has been a challenging year and a half for all of us. However, I am very proud of the way the Rensselaer community has risen to the occasion, including our students, who have been almost uniformly wonderful about following our protocols. I commend their parents for raising such responsible and civic-minded young people. We clearly educate students highly attuned to scientific and medical developments, who not only understand the gravity of this public health emergency, but who also see themselves as active participants in the great experiment of learning to control SARS-CoV-2. This includes the students in our Maker Club, The Forge, who early in the pandemic enlisted volunteers with 3D printers to help address a terrible shortage of personal protective equipment for hospital workers by printing face shields and ear savers for hospitals along the East Coast. The newest members of our Rensselaer community, the members of the class of 2025 and the architects of 2026, are just as remarkable. I am proud to report that this is the strongest freshman class in Rensselaer history in terms of academics, with an average SAT score of 1427. They also are among the most civic-minded. Despite the restrictions of the pandemic, a majority of our incoming students included volunteer experience on their applications. One student delivered food to the immunocompromised. Another raised $27,000 for 2 hospitals. Another opened a bakery with her family and donated their earnings to a nonprofit working to address food insecurity in northern New Jersey. We truly cannot wait to see what these students will do once they are armed with a Rensselaer education. In a study on the factors that turn young people into innovators, the Opportunity Insights group of economists at Harvard University has found that Rensselaer is at the very top of the nation's colleges in terms of the rate at which its recent alumni and alumnae have become inventors. In fact, number 3 on the list nationwide. Our current students promise to carry on this tradition. Over the past year and a half, our faculty and staff also truly rose to the occasion. Abruptly thrust into remote teaching in the spring of 2020, by the fall of that year, many of our faculty were accommodating the needs of both remote and on-campus students by teaching in multiple modes at once, in person, online, and a hybrid of the two. A number of pedagogical innovations arose out of the experience, including in our School of Architecture, where a whiteboard application was used to duplicate the Rensselaer Studio experience in which architecture students share their drawings so that their fellow students and teachers can offer feedback. The digital whiteboard even has enhanced the studio experience in some ways, allowing comments to be preserved and allowing prominent architects from around the world to participate in reviews of student work. Among our pandemic-inspired innovations are more flexible learning options, including e-terms during semester breaks or week-long enrichment-focused programs across all 5 schools, some of which will offer course credits. We also are giving high-achieving students the flexibility of an accelerated path to their degrees. With Excel, students who enter Rensselaer as freshmen with at least 12 advanced placement or transfer credits in STEM fields have the option of a plan of study that allows them to achieve their Bachelor of Science degree in just 3 years. With Excel Plus, they can complete BS and MS degrees in 4 years while maintaining their financial aid for the 4th-year graduate degree program. The urgent demand of this pandemic also have inspired remarkable research in many different fields. Please allow me to offer just one example. A team of Rensselaer researchers led by Dr. Robert Linhart, the Broadbent Senior Constellation Professor of Biocatalysis and Metabolic Engineering, Chemistry and Chemical Biology, Dr. Jonathan Dordick, Institute Professor of Chemical and Biological Engineering and Special Advisor to the President for Strategic Initiatives, and Professor Fuming Zhang discovered that both the blood thinner heparin and an extract from edible seaweeds can bind to the spike proteins of SARS-CoV-2 before the virus can bind to mammalian cells. Now, they are collaborating with researchers at the University of Mississippi to see if these substances can be used in a protective nasal spray, an early intervention that could help us combat the Delta variant. Since my tenure began in 1999, we have put in place the people, programs, platforms, and partnerships that have allowed Rensselaer to thrive. Without question, one of our greatest achievements under the plan has been transforming the student experience. While it is difficult to imagine now, before I took office, some recent alumni and alumnae told me that while their Rensselaer experience had prepared them well for their careers, it had been needlessly joyless. I saw the lack of attention to the student experience, even in worn-out student residences and dark, noisy dining halls. I am well aware that people do their finest work when they are appropriately guided and supported. And this is doubly true for young people, many of whom are away from home for the first time. So we were quite bold in the Rensselaer Plan that represented my initial vision for the Institute, stating in 2000 that, and I quote, Rensselaer is committed to an undergraduate experience that surpasses all others, unquote. Over the past 22 plus years, we vastly improved the physical experience of Rensselaer students, the emotional experience, and of course, the intellectual experience, while underscoring and enhancing Rensselaer's strengths that date back to our very founding in 1824. Hands-on, minds-on learning that sends students into laboratories and out into the field, and then to the front of the classroom to present their hypotheses and their findings to their professors and fellow students. Please allow me to tell you a bit about the work we have done to ensure that our students develop personally as well as professionally at Rensselaer. and that their time here both challenges and delights them, an effort that continues today. Let us begin with academics. Because we wanted to encourage our students' creativity and allow them to shape the highly individual career trajectories that characterize innovators and leaders, we substantially increased our academic offerings with an eye to new fields emerging at the intersections of disciplines. Over the past 23 years, we have established 25 new degree programs in all, including in the electronic arts, in cognitive science, in games and simulation arts and sciences, in information technology and web science, in sustainability studies, biological neuroscience, business analytics, in design, innovation, and society, and in music. We also added new concentrations, minors, dual degrees, and interdisciplinary projects, again, to serve the individual talents and interests of our students. Clearly, one does not create great programs without brilliant and dynamic faculty. Over the course of my tenure, we have lowered the student-faculty ratio and hired 400 new tenured and tenure-track faculty across all 5 schools. They include members of the National Academies of Science, Engineering, Medicine, inventors, and public administration, as well as many early career award winners, the winners of national and international honors and prizes, and people who advise our government at the highest levels. We take a highly innovative approach to teaching and learning here, including with the Arch, our transformation of the traditional academic calendar. With the Arch, all rising juniors remain on campus for the summer after their sophomore year for a full semester of junior level classes so that they can spend a semester and more of the traditional junior year away in a pre-professional or personal growth experience and still graduate in the usual time frame. The Arch gives our students the benefit of a summer of undivided attention from our faculty and student life staff as the only full class on campus, and the opportunity to gain an extended period of experiential learning off campus, just as they pivot to more advanced work, including ultimately international experiences, as well as co-ops and internships with leading companies, research projects, volunteer projects, and entrepreneurial ventures. The Arch is an important aspect of our vision for Rensselaer of being the new Polytechnic. As you know, Polytechnic comes from the Greek for skilled in many arts. As the new Polytechnic, Rensselaer leads by serving as a crossroads for collaborations across disciplines, geographies, sectors, and generations, using the most advanced tools and technologies and addressing the most complex challenges of humanity. While we educate students for deep knowledge in their chosen fields, here at the new Polytechnic, we also ensure that they develop essential perspectives that cross fields. One such perspective is demanded by the astounding volume of digital data that humanity is creating. The need to find insights within that data and to use it to make better decisions and to address challenges is transforming almost every field of endeavor. So we have instituted a first of its kind in the nation data dexterity requirement. Every undergraduate now completes 2 data intensive courses. And for those whose interests take them even further, we have begun offering a multidisciplinary data science and engineering minor. Of course, the unsurpassed student experience we promised in 2000 required more than our adding academic activities. It required Rensselaer to become a more welcoming and supportive community. So in 2001, we created the Office of the First Year Experience, FYE, to ease the freshmen into Rensselaer and to undergird them as they reach for excellence. Our First Year Experience Office created Navigating Rensselaer and Beyond, a program for incoming freshmen that uses adventure and team building activities, historical and cultural programs, and community service to help students to bond with each other and with Rensselaer before classes even begin. In 2006, the Office of the First Year Experience received a Gold Award for Excellence from the National Association of Student Personnel Administrators. We have extended the First Year Experience to create one especially for graduate students. In 2009, we introduced our class model, or clustered learning, advocacy, and support for students, extending beyond the first year, which made those bonds of friendship and pride of place even stronger throughout a student's career at Rensselaer, with two types of clustering. Time-based clustering, which offers the right programming, supports, and opportunities for each developmental phase of a student's career through Rensselaer. And residential clustering, with students living in tight-knit groups in our residential commons. Even those upperclassmen who move off campus are networked together through the Greek Life Commons or the off-campus commons. Our off-campus commons is physically embodied in a home at 15th Street and College Avenue, where off-campus students can gather for meetings or a quiet place to study on campus. An on-demand safe ride home program brings them between campus and home at night. During the 2020-2021 academic year, our health and safety protocols meant that we could not allow our students to live in their Greek houses. Our Greek chapters faced financial hardships and deferred maintenance as a result. So we established funds for alumni and alumnae giving that helped to support our fraternities and sororities through a challenging time. Now, here at Rensselaer, we have one of the very best schools of architecture in the nation. So we know that the quality of the built environment matters. Our transformation of the student experience, therefore, has included vastly improving the physical conditions in which Rensselaer students live and learn. As we implemented the Rensselaer Plan, we undertook many overdue renovations, beginning with the freshman residences, and created new residences for both undergraduates and graduate students, including the Howard and Blitman PE Class of 50, Residence Commons, and City Station. We improved classrooms, laboratories, even the landscaping, and built magnificent new platforms for education, cultural experiences, and research. In all, we invested over $800 million in our beautiful Troy campus. We also created new facilities to encourage the development of the whole student, mind, body, and spirit, including our Mueller Center for Fitness, Wellness, and Recreation, and our East Campus Athletic Village, ECAV, which added to the campus a new stadium for football, lacrosse, and soccer, and a new arena for basketball and other indoor athletic events. We also have more than 200 clubs and club sports at the Rensselaer Union, ranging from the Ballroom Dance Club to the Society of Hispanic Professional Engineers and the National Society of Black Engineers, to the Red Army, whose purpose is making as much noise as possible at Rensselaer athletic events. So our students are sure to find a community here or to found their own. In short, Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute is one of the most exciting places on earth to live, to learn, and to grow. I urge you to sample as much of Rensselaer as you can virtually this weekend, so that you too can experience the sense of adventure, and the spirit of collaboration that make living, learning, and working here so delightful. And we so look forward to having you visit when the pandemic allows. Please enjoy the weekend. Have a good time.